Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with a return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses, so for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video I'm going to be looking at MMTLP, and I'm going to be sharing with you a new letter just being sent to Congress, and we're also going to be looking at ticker symbol BNOX and also updates for ticker symbol SLNO. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here, Wall Street changes courses and the Dow Jones jumps 200 points. This is good news. We can also see that the Nasdaq at time of editing is also up 0.8% and the stocks are rebounding today. Investors are hoping that to get more clues in the direction of the monetary policy from the Fed, and I think as far as I'm concerned, I do not expect any more interest rate increases this year, and if we get more clues with regard to that, hopefully better news for the market. So if we have a look at other news in terms of Bitcoin, we can see today Bitcoin did hit a price in excess of $27,000. So good news there for the crypto stocks. And let's finish off here by having a look at the heat map. Again, contrary to the previous 2 days, apart from utilities, I think all the sectors are up today in the green. So great news overall. Let's now have a look at details of the new letter being sent to Gary Gensler and the SEC. So shout out here to Jen, who stated, great news, MMTLP, we can now add 2 US Senators, Mike Crapo and Senator Vance, pressed to this list of letters sent to Gary Gensler and the SEC requesting answers to events surrounding the U3 hull of MMTLP. So let's now have a look at the letter that has just been sent. So this is dated September the 26th, so just a couple of days ago, and we can see it's addressed to Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, and it states here, we are writing to request that the SEC examine events surrounding the trading hull of MMTLP, provide appropriate information to the Senate officers engaged on this matter. So obviously we can see here they've referred to the trading dates, the hull, they've talked about the FINRA FAQs, and obviously clarifying in terms of what happened with regard to the settlement and 2 days of trading that were not provided to all the investors. So they also states here, since December's events, investors across the country have struggled to gain clarity regarding both spin-off transactions and the hull on trading. So I'm glad they've pointed out the hull on trading, because that is the big concern that everybody had. Therefore, we echo our House counterparts and request that the SEC review these market events and any corporate filings made with the Commission. So strong words here. It is equally important to our constituents that the SEC further scrutinise these matters to determine if any wrongdoing occurred. I believe there was wrongdoing, and it also states we hope for a timely response. So as far as I'm concerned, the pressure is building on Gary Gensler, the pressure is building on the SEC. So as far as I'm concerned, I have no problems if the SEC wishes to throw FINRA under the bus. So that's fine. So great news here in terms of the signatures. So credit here to Mike Crapo, US Senator, and also JD Vance. We are hoping there are many, many more. So the momentum is growing, your calls are working. Let's keep everything up. The next update I'd like to share with you is from a space chat hosted by Drew earlier yesterday, and so shout out here to Liz, who's summarised what happened in terms of this chat from David Lauer, who appeared in the space chat, and what she has stated here, there's some of the words of encouragement from David Lauer, and David stated in this space chat, things are happening, things are being investigated, enough noise has been made that this will not be dropped. So that's very positive. It's also very encouraging. I do believe he has the ear of significant people in the SEC. He possibly also has the ear of Gary Gensler, and he's also gone on to say, I feel horrendous for everyone involved here. I think it's awful. I think it's inexcusable. That was allowed to happen, and I don't blame any of you for fighting for it. So I'm very pleased about David Lauer's turnaround here. So it is positive, it is encouraging, and this is what should have happened a long time ago. And if you remember previously, he did take the point of view that FINRA were correct in the dates. That's no longer the case, so positive news there. And there was another update in the space chat from John Berder, and that was with regard to his shares and Greg McCabe's shares. So what John was able to confirm that Greg McCabe has, or should we say is in the process of moving all his shares, or the vast majority of his shares, from RBC over with AST. So Greg McCabe currently has approximately 92% of all allocated shares with RBC. That will leave remaining 8%, and from that 8% it will include John Berder's. So the key question, and you could say the key smoking gun here, could be if there is a discrepancy or if there's a problem, then obviously RBC will be possibly held accountable, and that could also open a Pandora's box with many of the other brokers. So on the theme of brokers, what Mark Basile also posted just a few minutes ago today, he states is that FINRA and the SEC need to immediately audit each broker that traded MMTLP security and get a certified audited statement of accounting from each broker to determine the actual share count as of December the 8th, 2022. Who made up the team, audited aggregate share counts. Anyway, this information is usually provided by the transfer agent, but does not include naked shares sold and not settled by the actual brokers. But now, how the heck would a TA know that information? So the question here is, FINRA and the SEC need to now reach out to the brokers, because the brokers have liability in terms of naked shorting, naked shares, and if that is the case, then we also need to take action against the brokers. The next shout out here is to Gardner Wade, who posted in response to FINRA, and he states here, a huge cutting edge tech team, but Mr. Cook won't allow them to provide US citizens with a simple audited MMTLP share count requested for over 9 months. Why? So easy to solve the issue. Why hide this share count? So this is an important question. This is a question that we've been asking for a long time now. So at the time of the U3 halt, what FINRA stated was that there's going to be uncertainty in the markets. There is risk of obviously the markets having instability, but what is the risk now? So we've not had a response. I would like FINRA to issue an FAQ part 2 with all the additional questions that shareholders have been asking, but I'm not sure I'm going to see that. So let's have a look at what Richard Hoffman is saying, and he states here, in response to what happened yesterday, as Gensler has now admitted that the consolidated share count is not confidential and is public information, he should not only have no problem making it available, but any future objection to such release would be in bad faith and perhaps waived. So I believe that a FOIA request from Richard has gone in, and Vincent has also submitted a FOIA request. So these will now be piling up. So really, FINRA, it'll make everybody's life much easier if you just release the share count. Finally, I'd like to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol BNOX and also SLNO. So you'll be able to see here that these were called out in the Discord 10th of September and 17th of September, and also in our weekly watch list. So we use the FDA pharmaceutical catalyst website to share the upcoming catalyst. So the upcoming catalyst for SLNO were also shared in the Discord biotech channel, and also for BNOX. So we also looked at ticker symbol CARA. So let's have a look at what happened today. So in the news today, one of the Discord members did ask Ali, what's up with BNOX, up 450%. Wow, so congratulations to everybody who got into that. So let's have a look at Right now, the share price for BNOX, I think at time of editing, it's up close to 326 points. So, and at one point it was up in excess of 400%. So consolidating a little bit there, but let's also have a look at the other stock that we featured, and that this one was up at one point in excess of 500%. So there was a little bit of a sell-off yesterday, but today it's also up in excess of 21% at time of editing, currently at $25.10. So there has been huge news in both stocks. So we're going to focus on BNOX. So let's have a look at an article here from Investor Place that states, why is BNOX up 347% today? So there were some clinical trials, and we can see here the company's PTSD treatment performed well in a phase 2B trial. And obviously that has seen very, very heavy share trading in the market. So the company has rocketed, and we can see the company has received results from its phase 2 ATTUNE trial of BNC210, and that covers drugs for treatment for patients with PTSD. So the big news from this is that it has met its primary endpoint. That means patients taking the drug saw a change. So that's positive. And in terms of additional information, we can see here the trials also met secondary endpoints. That includes improvements in depression, improvements in insomnia, and also positive signals across other measurable scales. So that is tremendous news. And finally, we can also see here what is going to happen next for BNOX stock. So obviously they have furthered the plans. They will go into a phase 3. And to put it in terms of the share price, we know obviously there has been heavy trading today. In terms of the volume, we know average trading volume is only about 246,000 shares, but the stock was up 346% in terms of the article, and also up 400% at one point as well. So we have seen 13 million shares changing hands. So investors are now looking at the most recent stock market news to keep on reading. So if you would like to get additional stocks called from our biopharmaceutical website in our bio channel, you can join us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.